Okay, so in my walk and talk video where I was just walking through the woods a little bit talking about stuff, I did mention this knife. This is a Rough Ryder Sunfish or elephant toenail or sleeve board, all those things, whichever one you want to call it. Um, Knife. It's like a 4.25 inch. Is that what it is? 4.25. Let me look here. Yeah, it's about 4.25 inch long. Sunfish, elephant toenail, sleeve board, whatever you want to call it. Knife made by Rough Ryder, and this one has blue G10 covers, which look pretty good. It's got brushed bolsters, which I like better than polished bolsters, I think, just because, it gives more of a working knife look to it. Your typical match strike pull nail nicks with Rough Ryder. This main blade, you can hear the snap on that. You can pinch it open with your fingers, which is definitely nice. When I got the knife, it did come with some scratches on the blade. Not the end of the world. This knife was, I think, $1 or $2 more than a normal Rough Ryder knife. So a normal Rough Ryder knife retails for around $17. I think this one was $18 or $19, I'm thinking. I could be wrong about that. It might have been $17 too. But there is a marbles version of this knife that has white smooth bone that is actually a little bit less expensive, and I wish I would have known about that one, because I think I would have rather had the white smooth bone than the blue G10. And at some point, since it's such an inexpensive knife, I might end up getting that one anyway, but we'll see. I've never had a Sunfish knife before, and I have to say, it does feel really comfortable in hand because of this large, handle and everything, and the blade on this knife is pretty ridiculous. It's thick, and, it's just a huge blade. Blades do have half stops, and the backspring on that main blade is insane. This little pen blade, well, if you want to call it a pen blade, I'm not sure if it's actually a pen blade on this knife. This little spear blade here is what I'll call it. Is a little big to be a pen blade. The backspring on this knife is also very strong. I think it's the same size as the other backspring, so they're both very strong. It's actually really difficult to get this small blade out, as you can kind of see there. Really hard to get that one out. That's why I definitely appreciate the fact that I can just pinch open the main blade. But overall, I think this knife has done what other Rough Ryder knives have done for me, which is, now that I have this, I want a Sunfish made by a United States retailer, whether that's on Smoky Mountain Knife Works. They have some Winchester Sunfish knives still from the 90s, so I've been thinking about getting one of those. And on traditionalpocketknives.com, he has a Shatton Morgan, it's like a Sunfish style, but it has, your main big old spear point blade, and then it has two smaller blades, and I think it's a whittler type knife, so it's like a sleeve board whittler, or, whatever, I don't know what you would call that, but I've been thinking about getting that. That is the dangerous thing about these Rough Ryder knives, is a lot of the times it makes you want to experience a higher quality version of that knife you just bought. So that's one dangerous thing about these Rough Ryder knives. But overall, the fit and finish on this knife, pretty decent. There's no huge gaps or anything. No problems with the G10. The edge grinds on the main blade it's alright. It's not perfect, but it's alright enough for a knife that retails for under $20. So yeah, that's the Rough Ryder. I believe they call it the Blue Mule Sunfish knife, something like that. It's like the Blue Mule series, and they're knives made to work, I guess. They feature the blue G10 and the brushed bolsters, and I definitely like those brushed bolsters. But yeah, so that's my first sunfish knife, and I'm probably at some point going to end up buying another sunfish knife because I've discovered that it's kind of a neat pattern.